Now I should be live on Kick and YouTube. Let's refresh. Nope. Oh, there we go. I am live to Kick now. YouTube? Yes. There we go. Alright. So my OBS settings have been messed up horrendously. That's fun. But okay. So, hello everybody. Welcome to another stream. Today we are going to be working on the stream overlay. I really should move my camera over a little more, or I should move my monitoring window down here so I can see all the chats and stuff a little better. Although I can't move OBS onto this monitor because if I do, it causes it to crash, and I do not know why. So, yeah, that's fun. I guess I should actually finish writing these queries. Encode SQLite is not implemented for stream event type. Oh, right. So I need to open this. And I put you there. Rust SQLX enum encode decode. That's not helpful. I think I saw this as an int. It's probably easier to just do that. The type is a text, not null. It's probably better as an integer. Hmm. To string. Actually, I could probably leave it as that and it'll do what it needs to do. It would be nice though. Does SQLX have like EDOM support? That's gonna be kind of annoying actually trying to get that out. Execute. Looks like ads are in progress, so I'll just wait a second. Oh, it's so cold in here. OBS disappeared. I really need to get another monitor because yeah, I don't have enough. I don't have enough monitor space right now. I have 3 monitors and I guess I could get another one. I just don't know how I'd mount or place it anywhere. But it would be nice to have another one, because I'm very much out of space. And it would also be nice to be looking more at the camera when I'm like trying to read chat and stuff. But to do that, I gotta be looking off to the side. So always just like looking this way because it's where my monitors are. Alright, looks like ads are over. I don't know how to deal with this. Let temp type equals stream event type as I64 then I guess pub async function get all events SQLX query as I'm gonna make a temporary struct temporary event that accepts the event type as a string, because that's what it is in the database. Alright, where's the stream event? So I need these. It's this, but this is a string instead. So I need to read into these. Attempt stream event. Select star from events. Dot fetch all. Dot await. This is complaining because I'm returning this, so I need to dot map. I think this is how you do it. I'm just going to do that for a second. User ID event dot user. Username, which is event dot username. I don't know if I've done the syntax for this right at all. Rust map function. Okay. Wrong button. Details, event dot details. I think I need to. Hmm. Why is this a vec result dot unwrap? Why? Inner.map.collect. Right. Um. Yeah, I guess this should just return. But then there's no error handling. Oh, this is so frustrating. I hate this language sometimes because I don't understand how to. Hmm. This is annoying. Ah, this is fucking. I guess I'd have to do this outside of, but I don't really want to return this temp value. REST SQLX feature flags. They've got to have like enum support or something. I guess not. Oh, this is so fucking annoying. God damn it. Then these can't. You know what? Just fuck this bullshit. I don't fucking care. This is dumb. So you can't fucking... Hmm. Encode SQLite is not implemented. I want to convert bytes. Hmm. So I need to implement this. I guess I'd also need to implement decode for it, which I do not want to try to figure out. Okay. Pub async function get all events. I'm going to comment that out. Clear all events. Delete from events. Yes, I very much am aware that that's what it does. That is what I wish to achieve. I'll deal with that later. I'm gonna have to deal with this later as well, which I really don't want to do. Because I'm gonna need encode and decode for it. I guess I can uncomment this. I can write the query for it at least. Query as stream event. Select star from events. Dot fetch all. Dot await. So we're gonna have to deal with these later. Cargo SQL X prepare. Actually, I don't think I need the workspace. It does not compile. What the fuck did I do wrong this time? It's complaining about every single query that I wrote. What are you talking about? No such column did chat this stream, except there is such column. There literally is. I even put it in the migration. Oh my god, this stupid fucking... From strings not defined width. So get users broken. right there. I don't know what you're talking about. So this is complaining because is this supposed to be an option? Same with XP, but it doesn't complain about XP, so I don't know why. No. The trait from option is not implemented for I-64. Yo, Helix. Banana. Welcome. I don't fucking understand this whatsoever. Here it's complaining because the database has no such column. And then here it's complaining because my type doesn't have the value that it says is in the call. I don't fucking understand this. Hello,
Just
bye.
a warning, ads are starting in 1 minute.
Thank you, TCS. See ya, Helix. The trait bound I-64. I don't know, so what I'm going to do is comment them out, because then it's not my problem. I probably should just make a new database file. Because I already ran the migration. But it didn't seem to have worked. It looks like ads are in progress, so I'm gonna go ahead and just... create a new database file. Overlay 2.sqlite. And then edit inv. SQL migrate run. That's better. Hmm. Alright, looks like ads are done. Which one of these is the actual one that I'm using? Both of them? What? Oh my god, this is not confusing at all. So both of these are being written to, or did it just get duplicated? I have actually no clue. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and figure that out right now because that's not my problem. So if I do get user, why? What do you mean? I see. Is it because I don't understand though? I've done this before and it never has a problem with an option. From standard option is not implemented. Should probably just say these are not null. Then we go ahead and delete this. Remove data source. Let's go ahead and make a new one. Overlay 2.sqlite. SQLite driver. Apply, okay. We go SQLX. Migrate run. There we go. Looks like ads were over a bit ago. So I'm just going to make these not optionals. Which causes a few problems in here, because, yeah. Insert into chatters. I need the XP. What am I missing? Refresh. Username XP did chat this stream. Oh, but it's default. Okay. This is still complaining. And it doesn't compile. Expected results. Which one? Where? Oh. SQLite query result. What a pain. But I still need to figure out what I want to do about these enums. Hmm. Yeah, I'll just have to figure that out later, I guess. But our code compiles now, so. But that means we need to migrate into overlay 2 now. I don't understand why the overlay database was duplicated. Because this has been reading from, I guess, out here. So then this one's not used, but it's also the update. It's both of them are updated. So I'm so confused. So I'm going to copy from this one's chatters into this one's chatters, which are empty. So then this one's not used. And it's this one that I need. Am I able to copy this and paste in here? Yes and no. It did it backwards. Thanks very much, I guess. Chandu16, welcome to the stream. Rest is the way. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've been doing this stuff in the stream already, stuff in JavaScript, or TypeScript, I should say, but Rust, I'm just trying to learn Rust, and it's been an experience, I could say that. Did chat the stream doesn't be so large. Why did it copy this backwards? Control Z. Yes, I have unsubmitted changes. So let's copy that. Why is it pasting in reverse? CSV. From chatters to chatters. Okay. Why is export and import? Copy to database. Can I not do this cross database? Cancel. So I want to. Okay, that works too. Okay. Alright, I should change this to use overlay 2. But I should also change these. hate that it puts a breakpoint. No, that's not what I wanted. We're gonna do this. Okay. So now I need to stop this, rerun. That way it's putting stuff into the updated database. I do need to actually push that. That would probably be a good idea. Remove. Cool. So that is working. I was able to see that my XP went up. So, go ahead and make that a bit smaller. No such column did chat this stream. I don't know what you're talking about. There is a such column. Set chatted. This is all like the user stuff. I guess I could, when I create the user, also did chat the stream. This might help. This might not. 0. Like, it's not compile erroring. I think the ID is just having a I don't even know what to describe it. It just it's broken. Okay, so the next thing to do is trying to figure out this WebSocket stuff. So I need to create the actual like overlay WebSocket. I guess I should also like initialize the database. So this is all the Twitch stuff. Overlay WebSocket stuff. Or no, I need the database. Database. Let db equals database rs should be db.create db.create What do you mean? I just imported it. Public async function create, but cannot find db in scope. Oh, do I need to do this? There we go. So, do I read the env variables in here? Should probably do this in here. db URL. I forgot what I called it. Database URL. db URL as string dot await. db URL. So we've initialized the database. We create the Twitch API client. I guess we should validate token and refresh, which I did implement yesterday. Wait. Then we start the Twitch WebSocket. We should actually start my WebSocket first. So I need to figure out how to do that. Start my start overlay WebSocket. And then we also need to be able to communicate with that socket from the Twitch one, which is going to be an interesting thing to figure out because I need to be able to broadcast to my overlay WebSocket. To do implement. I should probably do this up here. Do I use this URL anywhere else? No. Okay. All right. I really miss having the music on, but every time I play it, I still manage to get fucking copyright, even though it's stream beats, which is the whole point of it was to not have to deal with that. Yo, Chas, welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you for redeeming first. And good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. I am rewriting the stream overlay in Rust right now. I need to make the actual overlay WebSocket server though. I've got the Twitch stuff working now, and I just got the database code copied over, or not copied, but like ready to. Should probably remove some of these because I have a bajillion warnings. Why is that so long? My goodness. Oh, you just get rid of that. I don't care. Database URL. So we can load the database in. Let's see. I do need to pass the database. The Twitch message, Twitch client, and DB handle, Twitch WebSocket message. We would also like the database, which is a reference to the database.
Just a warning, ads are starting in 1 minute.
Thank you, GTS. I should really put headphones in or turn my volume down a bit. I think that comes through. Actually, could I just do... Oh, I need a comma. That's why. Reference. There we go. I don't know if I actually need the database to be mutable. It seems like it. Yes, because I need that. Okay. So I need mutable database. I guess I should close that. Then handle Twitch WebSocket notification also needs to get it because that's where it actually needed to go. DB is a mutable reference to the database. We're also gonna end up putting a bunch of other stuff in here, so and mutable database cannot borrow a mutable local variable database as mutable. Oh, do that too. Okay, it's weird. So now, if I get a raid, except I can't do that because the only things I don't have working for the database yet is these two functions for adding and getting the events because I use an enum to represent the event type, but I don't have there's no way to translate that between database and this, so hmm. Yeah, I guess I should leave it as a string. Looks like ads are in progress. Ads are fun. Welcome back from ads, everyone. So, yeah, I don't have these implemented yet because the event type is an enum and there's not really a way to convert from that to a string. At least the database doesn't know how to do that, so It would probably require a bit of ask the AI, because I tried looking. Yeah, so I'm going to figure that out later. But I've got basically everything else. I don't think there's any reason to store the URL on the database. The other thing was in here. The database is stored as a pool. I have no idea where that's implemented, though. Main? What do we call the database? Backend app. State.create. SQLite pool connect with. Tower sessions, SQLite store. This is a lot of. Where do I actually like. Run the migrations? Hmm. Okay. Interesting. I should probably do that because it makes some of this stuff easier in the DB. I also don't need to have a mutable self. Mammeet999090. Hello. um, it's a very long username. But welcome. I'm writing my rewriting my stream overlay in Rust. What language is this? It's Rust. I originally wrote my stream overlay stuff in TypeScript, but I'm moving over to using Rust. So I'm very slowly working my way through it. There's a few things that I need to figure out, and it's going. Broadcast overlay. I guess I should work on making the actual overlay socket. Because then once I have that, then I can just completely migrate each of these things. I want to develop an application. Can you recommend Flutter? I have never used Flutter. Um, I wish you luck with that. I've looked at Flutter before, but like I ended up deciding that I do not want to do mobile app development. So yeah, I actually wanted to do mobile app development a long time ago, but then there's a huge barrier to entry called money. Because in order to publish things on like Android, you gotta, it's like $25, I'm pretty sure, which isn't that much, and it's not that bad. But when it comes to Apple, which I don't have an Android, so I have an iPhone, so that means I have to use Apple if I was gonna develop apps. Um, and that meant buying $1,000 laptop or Mac or whatever for some $1,000 Apple laptop or desktop Mac or whatever the heck, just to have the Xcode tools and stuff. Or and then you also got to pay Apple like $100 a year just to like develop your thing, which is dumb. So what do you recommend for application development? I have no recommendations. It also just really depends on what you're trying to achieve and like what your highest priorities are with it. So, like if you're just trying to make an Apple uh something for the Apple App Store, you probably want to just use Apple's entire ecosystem, which is like Xcode and uh I don't remember what they use exactly. What do they use? I don't remember. I think Flutter is Google's thing, but it can like yeah, Swift. There you go. Flutter is Google's thing that can be used for like multiple environments. So you can build Android and iOS. I think you can also build like desktop and web versions. I'm not entirely sure actually. I guess I could look. Not that it would be that great for it, but you know, multi-platform, mobile, Flutter on iOS, web, desktop, and embedded. Interesting. I think one problem that people have with Flutter is just like it doesn't look very good. Yeah, I mean, by all means, go ahead and try it. Um, and like you can always find something else too. What is Dart? I don't remember what Dart is. Is that just its language? And if you want to do like Rust stuff, I think there's Tari, which is like a Rust thing. You can build Linux, Mac OS, Windows, Android, iOS. I think you can also maybe compile to a website. I think you're 24 years old. Yeah, that's a very awful guess, but yes. I am totally 24 years old. I'm not 24. I am much younger than that. I really need to make it so chat can control the RGB of my home server's RAM down there. It would be cool if the home server's up higher, so it could be actually seen better. I kind of thought maybe putting on this shelf, but you can actually control the RGB of my PC. I think I could just turn the camera. You can control the RGB of my PC, but you won't really be able to see what you do. So, when did you start programming? Um, that's a hard one. I think I started in like 2019. So, like freshman year of high school, I started doing like web dev stuff mostly though, because that's pretty much all I could do. Then I got my first Raspberry Pi, my first desktop, which was a Raspberry Pi. I actually still have the Raspberry Pi. You could probably, you can't see it up there. I'd have to raise my desk. Hopefully, I have enough wire for that. You can probably see the Raspberry Pi now. Actually, I just go get it. Don't be lazy. My very first computer. It's not gonna focus. There's no autofocus, so well there is, but it's not. I don't know how to turn it on. But yeah, that's when I started. Then I ended up getting my first desktop, which was an awful, awful computer. I think the first time I ever touched code though was way earlier on, which was I was introduced to Python, but I didn't really know what I was doing, so actually I guess the first things I did was Discord bot development when I got the Raspberry Pi. So Discord bot development, which I started in Python, very quickly moved to JavaScript. Um and I did a lot of web development too, so that's mostly it. I didn't do a whole lot of low level stuff until a little bit later, especially not until like kind of recently when I learned C and C++ and stuff like that. So I'm doing a lot more of this lower level programming. I've also yes, I was about to get to that. I am in fact developing kind of a game, I guess you could say. I can go ahead and show you. So, I am working on this 3D falling sand simulation, which I'll let the ID kind of do its thing. There we go. Things are very rough so far. I do plan to turn it into a game, but for now it's just a sandbox. So that's pretty much all it is right now. It's just you can draw a bit of sand. And this world is in fact infinite, not vertically right now. It's only 2 chunks tall. For obvious reasons. There are very bad performance issues, which I'm sure are quite visible. But yeah, you can also do other types like water. Accidentally pressed caps lock. Nothing really interacts with each other yet either, and it crashed. I literally cannot figure out what this crash is from. Like I run into it when I'm not in debug mode, so I just can't figure it out. But yeah, I've made quite the mess here. But yeah, sand obviously has quite a bit of issues because there's a lot of bits floating around. In fact, I probably can't delete some of these because they're probably on a chunk boundary. I guess I can. But yeah, this is it so far. This is what the player's height will be about. This is kind of the scale of everything. But there's a lot to do still for this. That's bright. I need to get the chunk loading to be a little bit faster or like threaded or something. The simulation needs a lot of work, and I have a lot of issues around that because the fact I have chunks. So I've been trying to kind of figure out how to fix a lot of the things around that. Probably by just not using chunks for the simulated area. But anyways, this is a whole project. As you can see, things are not great. So just put a hole through this tower of sand, and yeah, nothing does what it's really supposed to. It's because of simulation. I kind of like reworked it, and it's just a huge disaster. Yeah, you could use something like this for app development if you want to do like Rust. Um, I believe I have very, very little experience with this. I have very little experience with Rust, so like I am working on some. I'm not personally working on something, but I am like helping some friends make something that uses that. I'm pretty sure. So there's also free TTS. You can say whatever.
Hello.
Okay, so I need to deal with the database thing. I can do that later because what I have now works. So I don't need to receive events from this on the outside. I've gone ahead and shamelessly asked the AI to generate me some code. Um, I am not going to copy probably all of this. Probably just like write pieces of it. I just need an example because I do not know how to do this. So I just wanted some example to kind of look at. I guess my camera's covering it. WebSocket what? Server. Um, broadcast public function. So you create a new one, you create a channel. Method to send messages to all clients from the outside. Send all. So you'd create some sort of channel. Okay. Start background. Tokyo task join handle. So we get the listener. We bind to an address. Failed to bind. Broadcast TX clone. So we spawn this, so that way we break out, or we're returning this. I see. This is one thing that I don't really like about Rust is the unexplicit return, which kind of I feel defeats the whole point of some of the stuff Rust is doing, which is to be more kind of clear about things. And then you just like, if you end a function with code without a semicolon, it returns the value of whatever that code is. What? But if you have a semicolon there, then you have to put return, which, I mean, you can do, but then it'll probably warn you, like, hey, you don't actually need to have type to return. You could just remove the semicolon. It's like, okay. Rust, please. Anyway, so we spawn an async, we move into that. We have the while loop that listens and listener accept. So we have the stream address. We spawn a handle client. TCP stream. WebSocket stream match accept async. WebSocket. WebSocket stream split the sender and receiver. Broadcast RX. TX subscribe. Incoming task. Handle incoming messages from the client while some message receiver. Okay, so this is anytime someone connects, spawn a new handler. So then we spawn a while loop that handles when we receive messages from the client. Outgoing tasks. While broadcast RX while we receive a message from that. Sender send. Okay. And I'm not in need of being able to send to a specific client. I just need to send to all clients. Because, yeah. Because any overlay that connects to this should just receive all events, and it can choose whether it wants to take the event or not. Tokyo select, wait for either task to complete. Okay, so I'll probably take most of that. I'll probably break this out into its own function as well. Just to reduce the nesting. So how do you use this? WebSocket server new, server handle, start background, main application. This is just an example of some work. WebSocket server send to all. Main loop iteration. Okay, so that makes sense. WebSockets. server. So I'm probably going to put this then in its own thing. Client ID. Where is this used? Client sender. I'm going to ahead and put that back in here.
Just a warning. Ads are starting in 1 minute.
Thank you, TTS. So overlay server. We'll just call it overlay WebSocket. Bring over here. I'm gonna close that. Attach to main. So arc hash map. Where is this used? They aren't. So what's this complaining about? Move. Borrow data escapes outside of method. Address escapes the method body here. I see. Borrow data escapes outside of method. Borrow data escapes outside of the method. Address escapes the method body here. I mean, I guess I don't really need to print. What's this complaining about? Convert message text from UTF bytes. Interesting. What kind of data can you send? Binary. I mean, in the end, it's all binary. We're having these things with the Twitch client, maybe to deal with what it's sending. It's sending text. Okay. Data message string. Okay. Now I just need to insert a JSON it. Because I'll be sending JSON between the two. It's easier, of course. Okay, so function is never used, except it is question mark, or is it just because this isn't used? So public function new. Got that. That's obvious. I also need to be able to pass the database down because this needs. Wait, does this need to access the database? Yes, it does. Because I have a few functions that, like clearing the events and stuff. So I guess I do need to access the database. So start background, I need the address. Self web 6. These lose access to self. So I need a mutable database, which is a mutable reference DB. Reference, there we go. Broadcast. But we're passing the address in here. So I don't know why that was complaining then. But that's not my problem. Broadcast TX. We also want the mutable DB. Mutable database. We want to mutable database. Then this needs to send that down through here. So this, I need to make another function that handles said message. So struct overlay Trying to think what to name this. Message, I guess. Overlay message, which will just be the, I guess, like the message type. And then the data will be a Surday JSON value. That way we can parse into that, and then we actually send. I want a overlay message and not a JSON value. Define. I've already forgotten how to do this because it's been a day. Twitch API, derive, I see that. Derive, debug, we need to deserialize. And then we need a function, async function handle command. And then here we need to handle client command. Dot await. Overlay message. This one's the overlay message. If I can type right. Added two A's. There we go. We also need the database and the sender. Yes. So we want the WS sender and a reference to mutable database. Values after being moved. So we want a reference. And I guess we need a mutable reference. Found immutable futures util split sync. Hmm. Let's worry about that in a second. Okay, so that works. This wants a mutable reference to the database. Then this is going to complain. Borrowed data escapes outside a function. DB escapes the function body here. What? Oh, it's because it's moving it, and I need to use it in here. Why is this so hard? DB is a reference that is only valid in the function body. I don't know how to deal with that, so yay, that's just fun. WebSocket server. I can delete this. So I need to figure out how to be able to access these within here, because the problem is this is moving. We need this. Mutable reference. There we go. Probably not 8080. What am I putting my current WebSocket on? $50.50. Okay. Could probably just put it on 5051 just because the other one's 5050 right now. So if I was to run it, then yeah. Okay, so I need to figure out how to deal with this then. Hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna need to figure out how to deal with that. Hmm. Should be able to run this though. Be surprised if it actually compiles. Cool. So now I need some sort of client that's connecting to it to test if it's working. or to, essentially just crash it. Let's see here. If I just change this to 51, my overlay should probably break. And then we can open this in Chrome. And then start cargo. Yeah, so we crash it, but that's because we received something we don't understand. Which is the hello event missing field command. Okay, well, that's because everything's in this, it's type. I guess what I could do to just make everything kind of just compatible. Where's my little struct? Serde rename type. We can run that. Yeah, there we go. Now we get a message. Hello, data from OBS. And then it's asking for the chat buffer. So the only times... Yeah, that should be fine. I'm just gonna have to figure out... I guess also... In here, yeah, I need to be able to send messages, which is a problem. But yes, we are receiving stuff. And stuff is getting there, but it's not quite there. I'm gonna go ahead and restart this one just to make sure, because I don't think running both of them at the same time is really a good idea. I think they're both also using the same database file at the same time, so that's not ideal probably, yet though not really anything's being written there. So I mean, like, there's, my XP. Something I do need to do.
Just a warning, ads are starting in 1 minute.
Thank you for the heads up. Hmm. Some of these users I'm pretty sure were a bot that just sent the like free view or not free viewers, but best viewers. Like you can't even view bot on Twitch anymore. They just freaking removed all of it. So like which kind of sucks for me because I was actually kind of doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure most of my views were bots. I mean, I wasn't doing that well, but like, I would average about like 5 or 6 viewers, especially when I just hit affiliate. But I kind of stopped streaming for a bit, and then also the whole bots thing. I wonder how many people got removed from Twitch that weren't bots. It's just that they like lurked all the time. I haven't heard anything though, so who knows. Okay, so I've got the website connection. I just can't. I can't pass the database down. Maybe there's a benefit to changing this. Because I believe DB can be cloned. At least this one. I don't know if. I don't think this can be cloned. No. I do need to eventually do that, but I need access to the database, but I can't. Handle client, so I need the database there. Then here I need VWS sender. I need a mutable sender. So can I use WS sender here? Yes. But I can't pass it to another function. So I can access it and use it, but I can't pass it to another function. It's only accessible in this scope. So let's uncomment this and this so I can get this error. So let's see if I can just figure this out. Borrow data escapes out of function in Rust. How to approach. So you're moving. Hmm. All right. This is not incredibly useful. So we're going to copy that. The Rust ownership problem. Love it. We love Rust and its ownerships. You can't pass a mutable reference into a spawn task because the spawn task might outlive the original reference, and Rust borrow checker prevents this. Hmm. I see. If you prefer a simpler approach where the database is shared directly, which would be better? I'd probably just do that. Interesting. It's a lot of stuff. No, that's not what I wanted. I hate when I'm highlighting code. Now it's gonna fucking edit this file too. So then I have a database handler. Which doesn't really make sense for what I'm doing. I don't think. Because I have to just implement each function over again, which is really annoying. I guess the cat's not really in here. I can move my webcam over a tiny bit. There we go. Well, because I need to pass data to that. So you're trying to pass a mutable database and the spawn tasks. Spawn tasks can outlive the original scope where the reference was created. Wrap the database in a mutex to share it safely between tasks. This is simpler, but may have more lock contention. If many clients access DB, that's not really an issue for me. I only have, right now, 2 clients. My controller team and the actual overlay that you see on screen. If it's not going to be an issue at all. And it's not like I have hundreds of billions of trillions of people chatting in Twitch chat. So it's just like I think that's the best solution for what I'm trying to do. So can I compare with clipboard? I want to see what you change. It's really tough to figure out what the AI actually did sometimes. Let's close these. Okay, so you added these. This is a clipboard. How did you comment it out? Oh, because you're creating a mock database example. So I don't want that. I like to leave that not commented out. So we had the arc mutex. We pass the database in when we create the WebSocket. We create a mutex on that. And then we don't pass it around. We create a cloned value from this instead. Did rename that. Then we pass that in with it. Then we can pass it to here. So you can clone the sender clone, and then you clone that. That's fun. So you make a mutex of it. Interesting. And we can pass the sender into here. Access a database, let DB guard. So we lock it and then we can do our operation. Sender we lock and then we can send. Okay, that's probably not too bad then. There's probably issues still though. There's a text. Surprisingly, no issues. Okay, so I don't need this. Let's see here. So I need to pass a database in. Where is this erroring now? Oh, because it's just an example. Okay. That's not my problem. Website server new, so we need to send the database in. This is gonna complain because it's being used after move. So actually, I need to create the mutex outside of the WebSocket server, and then I need to pass it into it. So I need to do this all the way down. That's going to be exciting. We could do something like get chatters chatted this stream. Just as a test, I suppose. So I can't. So I need to do this out here. Liquid0077, hello, welcome. How are you doing? This needs to be an arc mutex db. Arc mutex db. And then I don't need to do this. And this needs to be clone. Then this needs to be an arc mutex db. And then this needs to be that. I'm not going to be doing anything with a database in there, so it should be fine. I've come from a JavaScript background and I want to perform some database operations in Rust. In Java, I usually create a connection class using the singleton pattern design. For example, I would have a static method like dbConnection get connection, which returns a single instance of the database connection, which I can use throughout the application? How can I achieve something similar in Rust? Specifically, how can I manage a shared single database connection instance across my application in a safe and idiomatic way? That's a lot to take in. I am under the exact same question as you are currently, so I can't quite answer that necessarily. Um, I am also super new to Rust, so unfortunately, I may not be of too much use. I mean, you can watch and see what I'm doing, but right now I am just using an arc mutex, but that's because I'm doing stuff across threads. I don't know if you're sharing your database connection instance across threads, like different processes within your application, or if you're just using the single database instance throughout your application, but your application's just on the main thread. So you would not need to do this mutex stuff. Not that you can really see it, but it's probably a little better. You can probably see that. I wish the scale would, stay the same between all. But yeah, I'm still way too new to Rust to really be trying to answer that. So I would be surprised if this even runs. The application is multi-threaded. I know Arc and Mutex. Okay, so that's what I'm currently using right now, but I haven't actually really tested it, so I don't understand it quite that well. I understand the concept of mutexes and stuff. Um but yeah, there's I'm still very new to the whole Rust thing, especially multi-threading in Rust has never gone along very well with me. So, um, yeah. I also have a friend that's a lot better at Rust than me. That was kind of helping me in the beginning with some of this stuff, but they are probably still asleep right now, even though it is currently 12:30 in the afternoon. Or I guess I should say I guess it's afternoon basically now. um, but yeah, I am curious to see if this will work. It looks like ads will be starting
Just a
soon.
warning, ads are starting in 1 minute.
Thank you, TTS. I want to add more TTS characters because nothing's crashed. That's a good start. I thought I had a Chrome tab here. Okay, so I haven't. It doesn't crash. That's a good start. I mean, every time I want to access the database, though, I've got to do this, which not ideal. SQLite pool options new max connections 20. I've used a connection pool in my SQLite database. I probably would benefit from doing that rather than using the mutex thing, I assume. Oh, and we crashed. Thread man panicked. An error, value error, unknown variant, channel ad break begin. Am I actually telling it to crash when that happens? Oh no, because it's parsing. Ah, I see. What do you mean unknown? Type, notification type. Oh, because I typed it wrong. I guess that means I need to actually handle this, which means I'd have to do the whole like if let thing, which then puts this. Um, I guess what I could do is just pass the event type into here. Or is there actually a way to tell? Surday to map into this one if it's unknown. I would assume something like that. So if I just fuck something up like that, actually, I would also want to implement that. Panicked. Data did not match any variant of untagged enum. I don't think that would be it. Let's see. Surday JSON. How can I support an unknown or other value for Surday enum? Try use Surday enum string. Let's see if that works. Oh, it's gonna not work. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's what I want. Unhandled notification type unknown. What we can do is do payload notification type clone. That way we also get the more details. Channel at chat. That way we actually get that. So we're like, okay, I got some event from Twitch called that, and I don't handle it. But now I do. There we go. Fix bug. Alright, back to this. I should probably be using an SQLite pool. That would probably also help. I assume that's able to maybe handle database across threads. I don't know if that's thread safe though. I would assume it would be. Because that could probably should use that instead. Because then I can have I could also just create a separate, database object and just, write to the database. That's really bad, actually, probably. Actually, I don't know. Is it safe to write to the same SQLite database file from multiple programs? Probably not. Alright, so I guess I've got pretty much everything ready for me to be able to start handling or start transitioning from the TypeScript to Rust. Should probably close this. I don't think Twitch likes when you have multiple WebSocket connections at once with the same client. Actually, I think their limit is 3. Oh, this would have helped. All of them use nanoseconds instead of milliseconds. By default, you have 10 seconds from the time you receive the welcome message to subscribe to an event. Otherwise, okay, yeah. Keep alive. Indicate the problem, sending outgoing. You must respond to the ping messages. Yeah, here you go. You can, not must, you can create a maximum of 3 WebSockets connections with enabled subscriptions. Reconnecting using a reconnection URL doesn't add to your WebSocket count. Interesting. You should create one WebSocket until you have a reason to create another one. Basically, they're telling you don't create multiple WebSocket connections to us unless you really need to. Which you probably don't. I need to turn the ISO on my camera down. So, G photo to set config ISO. I guess I should get config ISO. I always fucking type this wrong. Holy moly. Currently at 6400. So I need to set the ISO to something a little lower. So probably 3200. Because the sun's out, so it's getting a little overexposed. It's kind of annoying to do that. I just searched a little bit. People are doing main let pool init db await password. You need this. Add to do pool and title await edit. Interesting. Um. Alright, can I send... You can't send a window to the back. That's really annoying. Okay. I could probably look into that, but honestly, I'm probably just gonna leave it the way it is for now until it causes a problem later. Like, honestly, it's just the way it is. Honestly, too, um, I guess it would still be maybe cross thread, cause eventually I might move all the overlay stuff to just be like a separately graphically rendered application rather than an HTML page that connects. But also at the same time, I don't know if I would. I feel like maybe those would be like a separate sub program that has its own like main rather than trying to like deal with multi-threading. So that is just like an entirely different issue. Basically, reading the same database file from multiple programs, which I don't know if that's safe necessarily. But the other thing too though is I'd only be reading for the most part from the clients. I don't think I ever really write to the database other than like a few times. So like probably having the file open twice is probably fine. I also probably then benefit from a different database that but at the same time like probably not. It's probably more work. I don't know. If it works, it works, and it'll probably continue to work. But yeah, I probably want to do a database connection pool, which would probably get rid of this whole like mutex thing, which is kind of annoying. But I probably do that in my own time rather than on stream because that's just probably a lot of documentation reading and stuff that I gotta do, and I don't really want to do that on stream because, well, as you can tell, I don't really have many viewers or anything, so trying to keep the stream a little more entertaining. Basically, I'm making a terminal music player, scanning audio file present in DB and saving things in the SQLite DB. Interesting. Saving things. So you're just like saving like metadata about the file? Sorry, not DB drives. File preset in drives and saving things in the database. I see. I I I assumed that's what you meant. So what are you storing in the database? Just like metadata about each audio file. It's faster to like index that if you're like searching for songs by an artist or a certain genre, title, path, duration. Yeah, there you go. Makes sense. And then that makes it easier for you to search for things and also just have information on the fly about a song, or I should say, about a file in the drive. I actually do, I guess, probably something sort of similar in another project of mine. I have like a little like chat website thing that I made. Users can upload files, and it's a complicated system, but the files go or are supposed to go in this temp directory while they upload. But when the file uploads, I have to run ffprobe on it to get some information to put in the database with the attachment. So, like getting the MIME type. Actually, I think that's already sent by the browser. But like trying to get the dimensions, and that's pretty much it, actually. The only thing I care about is trying to load the dimensions of an image or something. And that's from the client. I could put some more details in here, but I just needed the only thing I actually needed to do all that work for that I ended up doing a long time ago was to what was I trying to do? Oh, I need the dimensions so that when I render the image on the page, I have a lazy loader. I lazy load the images in, so I display a skeleton, but I need the dimensions of the image to display a skeleton that's the right size before then when the image loads in, it doesn't like shift the size of the not the page, but the chat window, the scroll area for that, and then that causes issues with the scrolling. It's just kind of a pain, but because then you end up like you load in, say a lot of images or something have been sent in a channel, and then those all load in. Now you're like way up at the top, and every time you like refresh the page, you gotta scroll all the way to the bottom. Like it's kind of annoying, but yeah, that's that. But back to the overlay. This is kind of annoying, actually, to be honest. So I will probably end up switching all that over later. But the main thing I'm trying to do now is just like migrate over everything over from TypeScript to Rust, and like it just needs to work. It doesn't need to work very good, and it doesn't need to be very good code because it's not gonna be. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in Rust, so yeah, just trying to make it work, and then I can like clean it up and fix things and whatnot. Cause like a lot of this stuff kind of needs to be organized anyway and redone, especially because I'm just translating from TypeScript to Rust. So, all right, back to my main. You can use EGY. It's simple. I think I've heard of it. I guess I could look that up. That's a Rust library. GUI for both web and native. Interesting. Yeah, I could. Is this just kind of like MGUI? I'd probably use it for like my little remote controller that I have. So I can like see chat and stuff on there and whatnot. Or like I can run the credits or reset the database or the events in the database. But I'd probably use that like for the controller. And I guess I'd probably just still use like the whole WebSocket thing and then just have like separate applications that can just connect to this WebSocket instead. Where is it? The overlay WebSocket. I'd probably just have this still, but I'd probably want to clean a lot of this up. Though I don't know how I'd want to handle the database stuff. I guess I'd just keep it the way it is. But yeah, and then like my current overlay is just HTML. Where is it? Here. You can also try Z, Rust Z, GUI. Z, the editor. That's not what I'm looking for. Do you have a link to it? I think it's this, the GPY from the creators of Z. I assume this is what you're talking about. It's very small if you're trying to read it from there. Why is this super small? Yeah, okay, so, but yeah, I think I'm gonna just keep the overlay in HTML for now. Nah, and some articles I saw that. I see. But yeah, later on I'll probably translate these over to an application and stuff. But like the actual like overlay you can see, it's pretty much just that. It's just the chat. That's all that's really visible. And then there's also the credits. That's pretty much all that's ever shows up on there right now. I don't really have anything else. I wanted to add some more stuff maybe. I do want to make some like game kind of thing maybe. But yeah, that's just the credits. Hey, thank you for the follow. Yes, much appreciated. Socket run credits. Oh, that's just because of debug. I see what I was doing there. But yeah, it's mostly just scripting for like handling events. Mostly the credits. I think that's it that's on here though. Yeah, it's just the chat and the credits. That's all that's on there. uh the my little dashboard thing has a little bit more stuff on there, like the chat, the viewers, stuff like that, and some like buttons to do stuff. But I would like to make it an application just so that it like I can just fire it up with this, but it's not too much of an issue having it as an HTML file for the actual like on screen thing. I want to be part of that GUI transformation from JS to Rust. Yeah. I mean, like, it's the thing with the HTML is it feels so free. Like, I can just do whatever I want most of the time, but like, also, I really hate writing CSS and doing JavaScript and stuff. So, ah, I really want to go back into my world of the falling sand simulation. This project that I've been working on. It'll load up real quick. But yeah, this I want to work on this again. I really had a lot of fun kind of working on this UI here. I feel like some sort of like fade on these could make it a little less harsh for doing that. There's no button to go back to game, which is keeps messing me up because I'll like go to main menu like what? Um, for some reason the scaling is broken on that. That's the thing I hate dealing with is UI scaling. When the window scales, you gotta also scale all the other things, including the positions, which positions change because the window size changes. That's where you kind of benefit from rendering to like a canvas is something I kind of want to try doing. And then like just changing the size of the canvas based on the window. Because otherwise it's a lot of math. And like if I want something to be in a specific spot on the screen, then when you change the size of the window, it also changes that where that spot is because now you have more pixels that you gotta deal with. Whereas if you just have like a canvas that you draw to, it's just like this canvas is set to these dimensions always, and then you can just like scale that. The only problem though still is that you gotta scale the actual button positions in the logic for like clicks and stuff, which can get a little nasty. But yeah, that's the SandSim project I've been working on. You can actually play it yourself if you want. Um, I have an itch page set up. I also have I don't know how to get to my itch page, but I know how to get to my GitHub page. This is the current release. There is a new release that I should probably make. But if you want to play the Sam Sim, you're welcome to. You're also welcome to open an issue if anything breaks. Someone open an issue. If you're on Linux, by the way, you do need to install uh, some libraries. I need to statically link them instead of whatever I'm doing. All right, so I guess we have all that working now. I guess I need to just start translating some of it over. Ads
Just a
are
warning,
starting.
ads are starting in 1 minute.
So I guess the thing I need to do first is handling like chat messages. I guess I need to figure out how I want to handle chat commands. Yikes. That's not gonna be fun. Broadcast overlay. Oh, I also need to pass down the WebSocket server. Now that I think of it. Because then you will send events. So along with that, I need the WebSocket server, which is a mutable. I don't know if I need that to be mutable. Probably not. And then handle WebSocket notification. Oh, because I need to reference it. Because I need to actually be able to broadcast to the overlay. There's also ads. Oh, yeah, that's fun. We'll wait for ads to finish. Ads, beautiful ads. Dun, 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 dun. You can also watch on Kick and YouTube. That's not a command. I swear that's a command. Oh well. Welcome back, everybody, from the ads. Okay, so we get the event. Receive chat message from. I don't think you actually need this because it's text. From this user. Event dot message dot chatter. Or no, it's just event dot chatter username. Alright, so we have some sort of weird thing going on here. Oh, I had the whole message buffer thing. Oh, that's not going to be a fun thing to implement in here. Ugh. I guess I need some sort of like state thing, it seems like. So we can probably do this broadcast overlay. So we need the WebSocket server dot send to all. Hmm. So I kind of break it down in this like little struct here. I guess I'll do this later. It's kind of a pain to deal with that. Broadcast overlay. So yeah, okay. So database dot. Because I'm doing database, I need to database lock. I can spell right. So we need the database guard dot create user. There we go. So event dot chatter user ID and event.chatter username. It is complaining because it wanted a string as string. Dot wait. Failed to write create new user. DB guard update username, which is the channel user ID and the username. You would have guessed. Dot await. Dot expect failed to update username. DB guard. Set chatted this stream. Okay. Then we need to handle chatter XP, which is kind of just this. Why is this a function though? Am I calling anywhere else? Doesn't seem like it. So database might as well here. DB guard update XP. The ID and the XP amount 10. Expected a string found an int. What do you mean? It should be an I-64. There we go. Okay, this is not being useful. I guess I'll just scroll down. Handle XP. Then we also need to try to handle a command. Error handling, and then handle auto shoutout. There has to be a reason I made these functions. Okay, so I guess I need to figure out how to handle chat commands. Handle chat commands. That also needs a database. Or if a command needs a database, that's a whole interesting problem to solve. Okay, so to do handle chat commands, and then to do handle auto shout out. Message delete. We just broadcast to the overlay. WS server. Send to all. This needs to be a string. Chat message delete. So command oh, and then data, which we send the message ID. First time chatter, welcome. Basil Plushie, hello. How are you doing? Event dot message ID. This expected string but found result. Let JSON equal Can you create like a hash map? Rust hash map. Planning to publish this repo for the stream overlay? Maybe. Currently, I believe it's a private repository, so that's mainly just because I didn't want to like commit my tokens by accident and then like have those available. Although I'm pretty sure if you do that, most things will revoke your token because they like scan your commits, I guess. The amount of times that I've committed a Discord bot token to Git and then Discord has sent me an email telling me they reset my token because they found it in a Git commit. uh, which, you know, is very nice of them to do, I guess. Discord tokens are very sensitive, you know. But yeah, Rust hash map. I don't know what to really search for. Can you just create hash map from? Because I'm not going to deal with making a type for each of these, which would be kind of annoying. It'd be nice to just be able to like here is this object. Just make it a string and send it. So I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out. I need to do so with the message buffer. That's going to be quite a bit of work too. Channel raid. Except I can't do any of the events. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I guess I just can't like fully implement, and there's no point in doing it because like little pieces of things still don't really work. Like the database, I need to figure out how to write enums into the database and out of the database. I guess it is supposed to be a string. I think you can just set these to a value. Except I don't remember how to do that. Why is this error right now? Oh, we imported that. Just implement to string method. I tried that and it did not work. I also need a from string method. And I don't really know how to do that either, so Twitch make announcement. I don't think you actually need to make the announcement because Twitch already makes a similar message. So like if I get rated, yeah, I already handle that. Database stuff. I could do the XP thing at least. So let mutable database db add XP to the event from broadcaster user ID as string. You want to add 1000 XP dot await field add XP db guard to do db event add event to database. I need to figure out how I want to deal with this broadcast overlay. Also, the send to all being a strings may be kind of annoying. Follow, so that's also another event. Broadcast overlay. Just create a user update username update XP. I love that I'm the one who's chatted the most in my very own channel. Except every time I start the overlay, my thing sending the message, the Inspire bots quest started up or whatever message, that counts as a chat message from me. Maybe I should make that like an announcement. I don't know. It's not really an announcement though. It's just I think there's also a rate limit on the announcement, so be careful. Okay, channel follow. So I guess the thing I need to figure out then is this broadcasting to my overlay thing. Cause that's the most important part. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna take like a few minutes kind of break here. I need to get some water, I think. Rest Enum is amazing. Read later. It's 1:48 a.m. here for us. It's Sunday. Damn. I'll go to bed then. SMH. This rest code is very exhausting sometimes. Good night. Good night to you. There's a good night redeem too. Nice talk. Yes, very much indeed. Hope to see you around later. I need to add more redeems to my channel. Alright, so good night. Thanks for redeeming good night. Let's see here. Okay, I'm just checking some Discord stuff real quickly. So I've been talking to some people. I used to play on a Minecraft server with some people, and the owner has been very busy and has not been able to like set up the server, and a lot of us are like waiting on it. I keep telling him like I can set up the server. I have a server that I can set it up on. SMH. Okay. How do you... All right. All right. I think I'm going to call it here. It has been 3 hours and a half, 3.5 hours. So, I'll be back with the stream later in the more of the evening for me. Um, just to do some more gaming. I think I want to do some more gaming streams as well. So probably playing the new update of Vintage Story. That'll be an interesting thing to figure out. Brain fart. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Um, I don't think I have enough people watching to really do a raid. Should I raid someone? Sure. Let's raid Fira. Let's do that. All right. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all later. With some gaming, probably vintage story. But yeah. See ya.